Straw Hut Media.
Hello on the Rockers. Is she the drama? Well, we're going to find out tonight as we talk with three-time Drag Race alumni, singer-songwriter, Scarlet Envy is here with my guest co-host, multi-platinum selling songwriter BLEACHx, and me, your sassy host with the sassy most. Raise a glass as the drinks begin. It's on the rocks.
Thank you for being
Boulevard.
Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death.
I'd like to propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, where I drink with your favorite celebrities as we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and, well, that's about it. So pop a cork, lean back, and raise a glass to On the Rocks.
Fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy night. Now,
Lord have mercy. Buns and Bows and Pantyhose On the Rocks podcast, a place where we're too glam to give a damn. You want to join On the Rocks on the road? Our final summer date is quickly approaching. We've been in 10 cities in 2 months. We will be at New Mexico State Fair, by the way, on September 8th all day. So join us at Out at the Fair. Go to outatthefair.com for your tickets and info, but we are on stage all day. We're coming for you, Albuquerque. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at On the Rocks on Air, and on Facebook On the Rocks Radio Show. Send me an email. Book me for a pride, wedding, funeral, quinceañera, bris. I don't care. I'll show up. Info at ontherocksradioshow.com. Send us your comments, guest request, and we got your guest questions tonight. Hope you're ready, Scarlet. We got questions. The show's presented by Straw Hut Media. You can watch and or listen to our now over 386 episodes. You can watch us on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV on the Out.TV app, Facebook Watch, streaming with pride on SVTV, and on Channel 31 on the East Coast. Hello, East Coast. We proudly tape at UBN Go Studios, your one-stop place for podcasting. All right, let's get the show on the road. Joining me as my guest co-host, my nose is running, by the way.
Oh, no.
Diet Coke. There we go. It's been a party weekend. It was my birthday yesterday, so it's been a party weekend. Not like that.
Tissue for an issue.
Yeah, tissue. I got daddy tissues. BLEACHx is a queer multi-platinum selling songwriter, a.k.a. Jeremy, known for his words, his lyrics touch on the playful but dark side of the heartbreak, bad decisions, and self-medicate in all the wrong ways. He's collaborated with artists like Jake Miller, Megan Trainor, Grayson Chance, and a slew of K-pop groups, and many, many more. And his music,
Scarlet Envy.
Yeah. His music transcends borders, and there's nothing he can't write. Please welcome BLEACHx.
Yo, what's going on?
Okay, what the hell is BLEACHx? Like,
What is BLEACHx? Well, the X is silent. It was kind of like a
silent.
It's kind of like
BLEACHx.
a fuck you to I wanted to get rid of my past and stuff, so we kind of came up with this name, and I was like, well, how else do you clean blood off the carpet from being in the music industry for 20 years? You gotta bleach it, girl. And my manager at the time was like, and the X is a little kiss of
okay.
Yeah.
And if you want to do an OnlyFans, then it's BLEACHxxx.
all the way.
Dunskies.
Yeah, to the power of 3.
Now, how did you get into songwriting?
I don't know. I just always loved it. And I had a friend write a song for me in one of my first songs. And then I go, you know what? I can do that. Like, I used to write poems and stuff as a kid. Middle school, I remember that. I just got in and I just over and over would write and listen to everything. And I watched TRL. I didn't do my homework. You know what I mean? VHS was my homework.
Yeah, you were like one of those kids.
Yeah, I was one of those kids.
So did you teach yourself piano and stuff like that? Or how did you know even like music, anything?
I play no instruments. It was just self-taught. I would go in and just sing over and over and learned how to use my voice and all that. I started as a dancer with Chris Brown at 14. I was on the Run It tour, which was crazy. And I was like, I want to do what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I know I've got something in there. And I used to have the NSYNC karaoke tapes in my in the bathroom and hide that. And I just kind of went with it. I was like, well, she sure ain't going to college because she don't got that.
Were you in Chris Brown's Kiss Kiss?
Not in the videos.
Okay,
no.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a friend who broke a leg on tour and they put me in there because I was helping him with the choreography. And it was just like a blessing. I was like, sorry you broke your leg, but I'm doing the summer jam tour with Chris.
How old were you?
I was 14.
14.
I've been in the biz
going
for
with a huge musician
long time. Well, he was brand new, so it was like.
But still, you're traveling at 14.
It was crazy.
That's really crazy.
Yeah.
Did you get into shenanigans?
Oh my God, yeah. It was a very adult life, and it's rolled over into my ripe young age of 21 and a half.
Bleach.
So, yeah.
Now you worked with a number of artists. What do you love most about collaborating with another artist, and what are some of your biggest challenges? Because I don't like working with anybody, I'll just tell you that
really?
right now. Yes.
At all? Well, we're going to leave then. No, it's just so cool to see people's perspectives and point of views, and it really helps me with working with other artists because everyone has their own experiences, their own verbiage, the way they use words. And so I just kind of go in there and working with Scarlet and, using her book of poems to do the album and stuff. taking that, making it a song form. You know, there's a lot of symmetry and math that actually goes into writing a song.
100%.
Phonetics and all that stuff. So it's cool to like everyone you collab with, I feel like you take a little piece of their soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really cool.
But you're also giving a little part of your soul too, because it's your songwriting.
And it, you know, it's symbiotic in that. And then it really, like when you go to do an artist project, it helps you find out who you are because, you know, God, I think I've maybe done over 3,000 or 4,000 songs in my career.
That's
just
insane
recording
to think
my
of.
catalog. Like sometimes I hear it and I go, "What was I thinking?" Or I gotta redo this song. So yeah, it's crazy.
Now, how did you come in contact with Scarlet?
So
Grindr.
Scarlet, well, Craigslist. Thank you.
I miss Craigslist. We had a whole conversation this weekend, my friends, and I was like, I miss those Craigslist days.
Me too.
The thrill of getting an email. It's like, what is going to be?
And it was so much more anonymous.
It
you know?
was.
Yeah, we didn't really have videos.
I never hooked up from Craigslist, but I liked the thrill and the hunt, and then I would just turn off the computer and be done. But like, I miss Craigslist.
I did it. I got what I needed. I'm out. Yeah, I'm sure there's some Craigslist songs out there, honestly.
Bring back Craigslist, Kamala. You want a good platform? Bring back
Craigslist. Actually, I moved in to a guest house at a house with a bunch of people, and Scarlet was like the next floor up from me, and we just kind of really fell in love with each other. And then that led to going out together and then being like, let's do an album. And then it's just kind of one thing after the other. Now being Team Envy and going around with her, it's been nuts. So.
House of Envy.
House of Envy, girl. Should I?
All right, well, speaking of House of Envy, let's bring on the lady of the hour. Scarlet Envy is just a bag full of talent with the iterations of Drag Race, debuting on season 11, also appearing on season 6 of All Stars, and this year on UK versus the World. She's a singer-songwriter, just released her EP, Rain in Hollywood. She's a writer, and this year debuted her book of poetry, She's a Poet. And as if this year wasn't busy enough, she embarks on a multi-city tour with Witch Perfect with fellow Drag Race alum Tina Burner and Alexis Michelle. She's appeared on Saturday Night Live, iCarly, and this last Friday, she opened for Katy Perry in the center of West Hollywood to a sold-out audience. Please welcome Scarlet Envy.
Hi, Alex.
Hi.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
This is so iconic.
What's iconic is Friday evening. You know, I was like, oh, there's a diva on stage, Katy Perry, but the true diva was you center stage, debuting your song to the public, Rain in Hollywood.
Kissed a Girl. Oh, yes. I mean, yes. Rain in Hollywood is my new song.
What were your nerves like?
Well, you know, I was strangely calm, I have to say. I don't know why. I just felt like I was really like prepared to take the moment on. And I was honored, first of all, that they had asked me to be part of it whatsoever. Because Katie and I have careers that have kind of like bounced around each other for like since 2017 at least.
Well, and you were on SNL with her too.
Yeah, in 2017. That's when I first met her. And so we talked about that, and I said,
"This is so crazy, like life circle."
Yeah, I've said I've done Drag Race 3 times, girl, but you were the first person to put me on TV. Yeah. And this is like, just so wonderful to be back with you. And I've impersonated her on the show as well. So I don't know, we have a history, and it was really nice to be there.
I can't believe you weren't nervous though, because not only was it Katy Perry, but again, you're debuting new music.
Well, of course I was a little. I'm more nervous about the debut of my own music, just because it's something that I've worked on. It's like my personal baby. Yeah, it's personal.
And we know the gays can be mean too,
and the gays, especially the mean gays of West Hollywood. But luckily, the mean gays were nice to me, so we had a great night. It was fantastic, and of course, we ended up kissing on stage, which was iconic. And fabulous. Yeah, she said, "Scarlet, kiss me." Yeah, like by name.
Of course she knows your name, girl.
Well, I don't know. RuPaul doesn't, so it's like...
RuPaul? RuPaul.
When that happened, I was literally like, what? Like, she was right with me, and then she pulls her on, and she fainted, and I was like, are you okay? Do I have to get you off? Do we need a gurney?
I did literally faint. I mean, I think it was more the corset and the tuck, but,
And Carmen Electra was there too, just to add a little spice.
Can we talk about Carmen Electra?
She's gorgeous, and she doesn't age.
She does not age. Actually, she does age. She ages in reverse.
Yeah.
I think she's just getting younger and younger and tighter. That tight little kitty girl. Ooh, honey, I was obsessed. I've been obsessed with her, obviously, as we all have for a long time, but we showed up matching, which was wild.
Yeah, I thought that was planned.
No, it wasn't planned, Alex. That was literally just because I guess I'm a witch. I don't know.
Witch perfect.
Well, a good witch, of course. Yeah.
All right, I want to back up a little bit. I want to know about Little Scarlet. You grew up in Kentucky. What about living in Kentucky taught a queer boy about life, stuff that you still subscribe to this day?
Well, I've always been painting. I think as a little queer boy, I was always like in the backyard painting, like literally Van Gogh with like little oil paints and shit. My parents didn't know what to do with me, so they would just let me go out there and I would just paint things. So I still paint to this day. I'm just painting faces now.
Yeah, right.
Instead of canvases. So I don't know. I mean, I've always been like really artsy, really creative, and I was in speech and debate as well. I made it to nationals doing a DI, a dramatic interpretation, these monologues in high school and things. So yeah, I mean, I've always been acting, and I got into schools for acting. I didn't go because I was scared, honestly. So that's kind of what I remind people listening, like, do what you want to do. You're going to do it anyway. You're going to end up doing what you're meant to do. But it's intimidating, especially like you were just talking about college. I'm not going to go to fucking college. A lot of people, yeah, what the fuck am I going to do that for? Can I say fuck?
Yeah, it's $10. It's $10 per time, but we're good for it. We're good.
Yeah, so I just go do what you want to do, So I went to school for graphic design and advertising.
I will say it was really cool. We were just in New York. We were there. We got stuck an extra 2 days, like 9 days. We did a cabaret show with her and shot the Witch Perfect promo, and she got to take me by her school.
That's neat.
And got to see like where she like came up and everything. So it was really a cool experience for us.
Yeah, shout out to FIT in New York.
And you got your degree in advertising design?
Advertising design, correct?
Yeah.
I have a bachelor's degree in advertising design and a associate's degree in communications.
That's crazy.
It is crazy because I never went to go use any of it. I just do this. I kind of did. I told Rue, I knew I would be selling something. I just didn't know it would be this pussy. But I guess it is. Can I say pussy?
Yes, that's $15.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that pussy.
No, there was a... There we go.
Ooh.
Meow.
Hot.
Kitty girl.
Now, there was a period of time you were raised by two moms, and that sounds like a drag fairy tale. It sounds like a wonderful life, but we know, and you've talked openly about it, the period of time before that wasn't the best.
Sure.
Can you talk a little bit about your experience? Is it true you went through conversion therapy?
It's true.
Oh my God. Well, that didn't work.
I think it converted the other way.
I know. Can you imagine being the poster child for conversion therapy? And you're on Drag Race 3 times.
I know. Well, I want to shout out to Dusty Ray Bottoms and a lot of my friends, Zach specifically, it just came out with a movie called Conversion, and it's kind of diving into like the dangers. They're based in Louisville, Kentucky, which is my hometown. And it's, really a thing that happens still. And it's actually very serious and super scary. So I want to shout out to them for doing, ironically, the Lord's work there and battling that continually. But yes, I do have a past going to conversion therapy. It was my parents were going through a divorce, and it was kind of like snuck in there as this religious based shit, whatever, that turned into, you want to fuck guys. Why? And let's dive into that. And here's some homework. Here's some literature to read on how to change that and how to, whatever. So we went through, a fairly dark time for about a year and a half, 2 years or so when I was in high school.
That's insane to me. Now, how did you not just get so angry at your parents? You're like, I'm never speaking to you again for the rest of my life.
Well, I did. But I think all high schoolers go through that, no matter what you're going through.
Little rebellion.
Yeah, this rebellious period of fuck your parents. But I have since done the work, and I even back then knew that it was kind of a me problem, right? That we were only introduced to the world as we were introduced to it, and we kind of create our own mindset and our own thought processes and our own opinions as we live. But at that time, I didn't really have anything to go off of. Yeah. So I knew what I thought was right, what was wrong, what I could do about it. But I've always been very much, it's always my decision. That was my decision to do that. And I stand firm in that, Since then, I realized how fucked up that is. But
and to have the resilience to be able to bounce back from that, and that it didn't affect you and make you stay in the closet for the rest of your life.
It's true, because it is a pendulum.
Yeah.
And I swung so far in one direction that it was only necessary to swing so far in the other direction. And I've, of course, been thankful for my journey. I wouldn't change a thing, because I think if it wasn't so extreme on one side, it wouldn't be so extreme on the other. And I found such joy and positivity and life in New York, in this queer culture, in this underground culture, even pre-Drag Race, just fucking around, people like Thor G. Thor and Azarea and all these people, these legends of New York that, again, pre-Drag Race were just sparkly beings that I was just enthralled with, and I just poured my whole heart into it. As a student still, I would just do the bare minimum just to get by, because that was my ticket to New York. That was my ticket out of the house, while just drinking in the culture I needed.
Now, going from Louisville to New York, even though you were ready for that kind of atmosphere, that must have been culture shock a little bit. What was the hardest thing to adjust to in New York life?
The hardest thing to adjust to was honestly being away from my mother, who I still just love. And even through all of this, I've always been so close with her. And people probably know this already, but, she came out as queer, since then. And so we share that now too. Yeah. But even in that moment before we had even come out to each other, we were always just so close. She was just so cool. And I'm lucky to be really good friends with my mom. So that was my hardest part initially getting to New York, because I had such love and like this great relationship with my mother specifically. But anyway, I guess I'm a fag. I don't know. I like my mom. That's pretty much what's new there. What's unique. I'm a mama's boy, girl. Hard F.
Hard F.
Now, what kind of relationship do you have with your dad?
I have a great relationship with my dad too, actually.
Really?
I'm really lucky to, I think this is actually why I got kicked off Drag Race, because I don't have any trauma to share in terms of this way. But yeah, I think that success helps, definitely, But yeah, I have such support from my entire family. I've got nieces and nephews, sisters, a stepbrother, a stepsister, and I have a huge family, and they're all really supportive and they're all really excited. I mean, granted, making out with Katy Perry on a Friday night doesn't hurt.
Last Friday night.
They get some fun stories to tell since I've been wearing panties. So
that must be weird for your dad, though. I mean, to put his kid through conversion therapy, and it's like, joke's on you. Your wife's gay,
Right, right.
And now I'm doing this full time.
Yeah, and now your son is like a full-time drag queen.
Yeah, he is all about it, honestly. I think what's really fun is that he'll call me just randomly at times and be like, oh, this, nurse that works for me or something, he's in healthcare, and, some meeting. It's just a random person will be a big fan. He's got pictures of us in his office of me and my sisters.
Talk about a turnaround.
I was gonna,
Yeah, and they'll recognize me and like pictures in my dad's office and be like, is that Scarlet? And
that's
it's
amazing.
Like, yes, it is actually. Like, it's a picture. It's like my high school picture or something ridiculous, but they'll still recognize it. So
that just shows you the power of like being an educated, like knowing about the queer community can change your whole outlook.
Absolutely, yeah. So we sent over some 8x10s, some signed 8x10s. He keeps it in his desk. So I said, just in case, if you ever need to.
He's like the cool guy in the office now.
Yeah, the flex is like, you want a signed picture? It's right here in his desk. So he's thrilled.
So how did you go from fashion to drag? We know that you were doing drag a little bit here and there, but when did you were like, okay, this is my full gig. This is my life.
I gave myself a couple weeks after I graduated college to go full time. I don't know.
A couple of weeks?
Well, I was like,
sometimes it takes people like a couple of years just to figure this out.
I was doing it a couple of years already.
Yeah.
To be fair, I was already doing it a couple of years. I started in, part-time in college. So by the time college was over, I said, okay, either I'm going to keep doing this part-time or I've got to go work for a pharmaceutical agency. And don't get me wrong, I love drugs.
Could you... Can you imagine getting free access to drugs?
Could you imagine?
Don't get me wrong. I don't want to come for let's not bring drugs into this.
That was fresh.
I'm just now imagining you in a suit doing pharmaceutical sales.
Well,
that suit would be tailored beyond belief. Yes.
I've lived many lives, and I don't know, never say never, but again, going back to just do what you want to do. You're going to end up doing that. So that's kind of the lesson I learned there was I poured myself into this fully and can't imagine doing anything else.
What was your first exposure to drag, though? I mean, I can't imagine Louisville had like this thriving drag scene.
Well, they did, actually.
Get out!
They did. I was unaware of it. I come from Louisville, Kentucky, so we did EOY there, Entertainer of the Year at Connection nightclub, which is since gone. But now they have Play, which is great, out of Nashville, Tennessee. Shout out to Play.
Okay, yeah, love Play.
So that's where I go and perform. When I go home now, I love them so much. And first exposure to drag was my mother actually was an event planner. When my parents got divorced, she kind of had to go back to the workforce after 15 years. She didn't know what to do, whatever. She just kind of took whatever opportunity she could. She would do like weddings and all kinds of stuff. And I would come and set up the chairs like in high school, like just to help her out. I had nothing else going on. So I would set up the chairs. I would drive people or I would take people home or whatever. So I had this drag queen to pick up. This is my job. Like, go pick up the drag queen.
That is so
And so I picked up the drag queen. I was like probably a junior in high school. And she comes. Her name is Pristine Decay. We're still friends to this day.
That is insane.
Yeah, we're still friends to this day. It's the very first
It must blow her mind, by the way.
We've chatted. Yeah. We've chatted.
And she saw rainbows. Of course.
I did. I was immediately enthralled. She got in the car and I watched her kind of put herself together, the last finishing touches. And then she was a Joan Rivers impersonator.
That's amazing.
So they would come in to this Halloween party. Better. It was a big Halloween party. And she would interview people on the red carpet as they arrived to this party. Who you wearing? Who you wearing?
Can we
Joan
talk?
Rivers. And can we talk? Oh,
and
the fashion
you got to be snappy. You got to be funny. You got to improv real fast.
And I was just enthralled. I just loved it. It was like this painting that I loved, this acting that I loved. It just kind of like combined all these things that I was like, oh, that's it. There it is.
Period.
Should I? Now you auditioned for Drag Race 4 times. What do you think it was
you
about?
did your research, Alex.
Girl. What do you think it was about the 4th tape that they're like, okay, let's finally bring this bitch on?
That's a great question. And I don't know for all the girls listening out there who are auditioning currently, this is a great question because this is like what felt like midterms or like the final papers were due every
Like your
year.
thesis,
like
yeah.
you like stress about this time of year coming, this audition process. As an actor, you have to be used to saying like hearing no all the time. Everyone says no, and it's all about just getting the right yes. So we know that, but there's a particularly personal aspect to the Drag Race audition that no feels really bad for because you're just pouring. It's like this reality TV. It's not like you're auditioning for a character. It's not just like a skill set thing or like you're not the right person. It's like, no, you're like at the core of you, you're not what we want. Like this is not your season.
And some queens spend their last dollar on doing their video.
Yeah.
And, you know, we know Drag Race can change your entire life.
True. That's true. I think that my audition tape that got me on was because I gave no fucks anymore. I was kind of like, this is my last take. I think I'm kind of disillusioned with New York. I think I'm ready to give up on this whole thing.
Wow.
I filmed most of my tape from Kentucky.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just very back to my roots. I did the whole thing myself. I went through years where, of course, I had no money to pay anyone to do it, but I did it anyway. And like had somebody put this elaborate video together that like they had no interest in because my hand wasn't in it. They knew that it was like just like hired out work that like looked sparkly and wonderful like a music video or something, but it wasn't coming across, you know?
Right.
The sincerity.
The sincerity. So when I did it myself and just gave no fucks, and also my audition tape included this acting challenge that no one's ever seen, and I feel like maybe I should release it at some point.
I think you should.
Because it is,
about icons meeting icons.
it is unhinged. This acting tape is like, it was this, what had happened to Baby Jane?
What happened was...
What had happened to Baby Jane was a past thing that we had to do. And so I painted my face half one character,
That's
half the other.
insane.
Love that.
And I had this argument with myself. As like, I would turn my head and it was this, you know, makeup on the side and this makeup on the and
That's
it's
cute.
unhinged.
That's amazing.
And it's horrifying. And I think that's honestly what did it.
Nobody's ever done that on Snatch Game, by the way. Like to do it too. Well, hey, for your fourth time back.
No
Say
promises.
3 times the charm, 4 times the
All
charm.
right, give us your best Betty Davis voice.
Oh my God.
Or do you need like 5 more martinis for that?
I mean, I might need
Bartender. He's right here.
What the dump?
You know, back in the day, we used to sit in the sound stages until 7 o'clock in the morning. And we didn't even have apartments. We just lived there.
That sounds pretty spot on, by the way.
They had the kitchens on the side, you see.
I love that like New England type accent that all those actresses had. Judy Garland and all that. And towards the end of their life, they were all slurring their words. They all sounded like that.
Yes, very continental.
So Scarlett, what did you learn first week of filming in the workroom? Because, you know, you watch the show, you think you know what to expect, but then when you're actually in it, what did you learn right off the bat? You're like, oh shit, this is different.
Well, I learned that they keep it very cold. That was the very first lesson I remember learning.
But isn't that good? Because you're under all that makeup and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is good initially. But see, I was
not for you skinny bitches.
Well,
Maybe
I had never been...
For the bigger girls, they were like thankful.
I had really only been to Los Angeles once, and it was years prior to coming for Drag Race. So I had packed thinking like, I'm going out to sunny Los Angeles. I brought like shorts and tank tops.
A Speedo.
Crop tops. Yeah, I showed up in a thong and a good attitude.
I really needed a parka.
Yeah, and then it turns out like it's cold as fuck. So I had to quickly like, I was just wearing a lot of like what production like ran to Walmart and got me like ugly sweatshirts and sweatpants. So like, that was my first lesson that I learned.
That is so funny.
Stays with the style to this day.
I know I do wear too many sweatpants.
Well, we love a good gray sweatpants.
No, we love our good comfy moments.
And then the lasting lesson that I learned was to be myself, was to just be unapologetically yourself, even if I didn't gel necessarily with the people that were sitting right in front of me. I made I think a lasting impact, hopefully, with the viewers and the listeners.
And those are who paying your bills. The other queens that you're competing about are not paying your bills. Your fans are paying your bills.
You could say that again.
So to speak. Yeah. And I think it's best to ingratiate yourself to the crew. You know, you want to be a treat for, like, you know, producing and, you know, so that's why you've been asked back so many times.
You know, you got to treat people with respect. I mean, you got to be kind and have a good time. Again, if I'm having a good time, I'm in a good mood, and I can't imagine doing, you know, I've worked with some divas. We have some bad reputations. Some of the Drag Race girls have bad reputations for being horrible to be around.
We've had some on the show.
I'm sure you have.
It's been like, it's a real treat to have you on the show. Thanks. What are you doing? Yeah. Bye.
But I try not to be like that. I don't think you need to be like that. I think it's better not to be.
I will say a lot of what you do is like such genuine intent, and that's one of the things I love about you so much and admire, and I think that's what's brought you like this far. Honestly, was that love?
Thank you. That does feel like
On
love.
that, I'm taking
That
a
feels
drink.
Have you guys ever?
Huh?
Have you ever kikied?
No, we haven't kikied.
No?
We kiki.
We kiki.
We haven't kai-kai'd.
We haven't kai-kai'd, no.
Not even like a drunken night, like
Sisters. No.
We've had many a drunken night.
Yeah.
It's
No, it's more like pushing each other on other people. Like, girl, go
that's
get you.
sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah. It is very sweet.
I think in some of the later seasons, especially the last couple of seasons, we see these queens enter the workroom and it's like they're so calculated. They have a strategy. They know what one-liners they're going to give to the camera to become memes, to be whatever. And it comes across so false. It's like, that wasn't funny. Like, it's not great because it's too calculated.
Delivery was
Well, as a viral queen,
Yeah.
I do know a thing or two about memes, and you can't plan them.
And you can't like look at the camera and like wink, wink. It's like, no, bitch.
Yeah, and I can't tell you how many people or companies have come up to me after viral moments and been like, well, we want to do this and we want to make it like this. And I was like, well, that's just not how it works. It's not planned that way. You can't, you can't calculate a demure.
Yeah.
It just like is a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
It just pops off,
Now, your social media is more healthy than winners of Drag Race. How has that happened? Is it your interaction with fans? Is it... This is a question I got many times, and I'm probably from some queens, but like, how did you build your social media?
Well, I don't love social media. I like my connection with fans.
Yeah.
But I don't love social media. I feel like I have always been working on being more present, being more honest on social media because I like a curated fantasy. I think I've put so much work into this aesthetic that it's not fake to me. It's really what I like. It's really how I feel and how I want to come across and how I want to present myself. But it is an aesthetic, and I don't feel like I could live stream my life 24 hours a day like some of these, influencers and these social media people do. A lot of the advice I get on how to grow my social media, I hate. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I think that people can see through the bullshit, and I think that they see that
gimmicks.
when I put on social media, I really mean it. I really care about it. But, it's a constant work in progress, but I take that as a huge compliment.
And what keeps you coming back to Drag Race? All Stars and then UK versus the world? I mean...
Well, I just have a thing for punishment. I like to be spanked. I like to be spanked and whips and Rihanna's chains and things like that. Yeah.
Did you go in with like a different strategy?
No.
No? You just...
Maybe I should have.
to be
Maybe I would
yourself?
have a crown right now if I had gone in with a different strategy.
But when you look at your career and like we look at your social media, we look at your fan base, it's like you've won every single time.
Well, thank you for saying that. And again, I am so grateful for what I have had from Drag Race. And it's just because of the fans, because Lord knows it's not from the judges panel.
Why did everyone look at me on that?
It's kind of like, do you know what your friend is saying, girl?
No, honestly, it is. I mean, I get love from the judges panel. It's just not shown on TV. And so I've known this from experience. If it's not put in the edit, even if I know what happened, if I heard it and I saw it with my own eyes, if it's not in the edit, I forget that was even part of the story.
Well, and we got that question many different ways, but basically they wanted to know, your fans wanted to know, was there any part of your life or your drag that the audience has not seen?
Yeah, I think a lot of it. I think most of the Scarlet Envy, I think I need to take another drink.
Yeah.
I feel like my words aren't slurring enough.
You got a flask full over there. We call it speaking in cursive, by the way.
Oh,
I'm speaking in cursive.
we're
over
taking.
here.
That's probably going to stick with us.
Yeah,
I'm gonna write my next book.
Your new hits. Yeah,
it's my next hit.
Singing in cursive, girl.
Singing
You
in
just
cursive.
slur as Betty Davis.
And it's just the whole thing just sounds like this.
Featuring On the Rocks.
Is that Judy Garland over there?
Judy Garland.
Judy.
Have you heard her drunk tapes?
Not soon enough. No, I haven't.
Warner Brothers, she was broke ass, you know. So Warner Brothers wanted her to write her autobiography. And she's like, well, I can't sit and write. So they gave her a tape recorder and they're like, just tell the tape recorder. It's 2 hours and you can hear her making a martini. You can hear the vodka bottle, whatever. It's 2 hours of her talking about everything but what she's supposed to be talking about. She's talking about just tar pit. She's talking about Sid Loft. And she is so drunk. Like, I'm a good mother. I can cook. You have to.
Well, I'll be falling asleep to this for the next couple weeks.
It's on YouTube. And then she says, so I couldn't get over the rainbow. So what? I pleased you, you sons of bitches. Can you imagine getting that back from Warner Brothers? And
Can I tell you my Judy Garland story?
Yes.
I have 1 degree of separation from Judy Garland.
Do it, girl.
Okay, so I went to Vienna, Austria for the last ever Life Ball. which is the big, giant festival they used to do benefiting, raising money for the AIDS epidemic, and it would happen for decades. Whatever.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a huge, big thing.
Yeah.
They would do the private plane with Amanda Lepore and all this crazy drama.
Yeah.
And so the year that I went was the last year, and RuPaul had sent a couple queens to go fight the monkeys. So she came up on the screen, hello, Life Ball.
Stop
my
it.
queens fight the monkeys and get, free the stone or whatever. I don't fucking know what it was. So there we went. We're fighting the monkeys and whatever. We get to the front of the stage, this huge long national TV on Vienna, this whole thing. And Lorna Luft is standing there, and Lorna is Judy's daughter.
Sister.
Yes. Sister.
No, daughter. I'm so sorry.
Daughter. Yeah, daughter.
Yeah. Liza's sister.
Liza's sister. Liza's sister. Lorna Luft.
Cursive.
I was like, oh shit. I thought she was her daughter. Yeah. So she's standing there.
Oh my God.
Like welcoming me to the stage. So I just kind of come and like put my arm around
That's
her.
amazing.
And then here she comes singing Over the Rainbow to Olive Life Ball.
Like, that's chilling. That's a once in a lifetime memory. That's like doing Saturday Night Live. That's like opening for Katy Perry. You're full of one lifetime experiences.
Yeah. I mean, what? So crazy.
All right, Scarlet, we got this asked a few different ways as well. A lot of compliments of how cute you are as a boy.
Oh.
But we know naturally your social media is a lot of Scarlet because Scarlet's your brand. Do you ever feel overshadowed by Scarlet, the persona, over you as the boy?
No, I don't feel overshadowed at all. Don't get me wrong, I like attention, but I'm so glad that it's kind of filtered through the professional lens of Scarlet because I'm happy with my life. I'm happy with, I don't know exactly what's around the corner, but it's not bothering me all that much, It's like,
well, you're doing pretty well. I mean, this year, look how busy you've been this year.
Well, thank you. Yeah. And thanks to, my incredible, friends and team. And we stay busy. I don't know how to not stay busy.
Yeah.
We were just having that conversation on the way over here. It's like, man, we have been the past, 3 months. We did the ABC 7 show. New York for Pride on the street. Did that.
That's right. Thing. You performed live.
Yeah, I was so excited. ABC was like, "Yeah, we're gonna put you on TV. We're gonna perform live and everything." I was so excited. I got there and it was like literally like in the crosswalk of the street.
I'm running around like a proud little mom. I'm like, yes.
It was so fun.
You debuted your new cabaret at Laurie Beachman Theater. Probably one of their last shows, right? Because they're
one of their last shows. I do think that they're fighting for.
I mean, it's part of theater history.
It's part of theater history. Thank you for saying it.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. It's part of theater history. And I think a lot of the locals in New York are standing up for it. People who have lived across the street from the theater for a long time saying you're an institution. Yeah. You can't go anywhere. So fingers crossed, I won't be one of the last shows. Likely I am, but it's a good reminder that if you want to support your local theaters, they need that. Yeah, they're not going to be there forever.
Still recovering from COVID. I mean, if Hollywood box office is still recovering from COVID, can you imagine theater?
Well, I think it's just a lot of coughing in general in New York.
Yes.
That was fresh.
Okay, but along the lines of being overshadowed and all the comments we got about how hot and cute you are as a boy, we never hear about your love and dating life unless we read your poetry book. She's a poet, but you keep some things under wraps.
I do, yeah.
Drink up.
Next subject.
Is that on purpose? Is dating, are you too busy to date?
Yes.
Is that the truth?
That's what it is. I think that's the truth. Listen, I've been dating here and there.
What does that mean? Like a hookup? Or
I like hookup. I hook up with people. I have a...
Are you on the apps?
I don't know how to answer this question, honestly.
Are you on the apps?
Yes.
Okay.
I am.
Oh my God, you're being so coy right now.
Well, I just don't really have a lot to divulge. I would say it if I could, but I just don't really have a lot going on in that aspect of my life, really. I think people don't understand that just because this has been a long time, like Drag Race happened for me for a long time, my life kind of changed. And I know that like these Drag Race girls have boyfriends and they have these drag husbands who follow them around the country.
Yep.
And,
they're doing their wigs.
Glue their wigs on for them or whatever. Yep. Yeah, but like that's not really, I don't know. I've never had that. It might be nice to have that, but it's never been a priority for me. And I know I don't have enough time for myself already. That I know what I want out of a relationship. I've had very successful relationships in the past, very early. And I realized I had a lot to do when I got out of those relationships. And I don't know, I'm a very old soul. I'm very mature. I know exactly what I want. I will not take any less than that.
Yeah.
And I know how much I should give to somebody. And I don't think for the last several many years, I've been able to give that to somebody. And that's okay. I've had success in other ways.
But here's the thing. Being in the spotlight, we see all your fans. We see your sold out audiences. We see that you're going to be touring around. Even with all of that energy and fandom around you, it can still be pretty lonely when you're tired at the end of the day, when you've put in 12 hours in drag and you're home by yourself. It can be a little lonely still, though, right?
Yeah, it can be.
Wow, you got real quiet real fast. Before she's like, babble, 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 babble. And now she's
Yeah, I mean, it is. We're
Is
all
it weird
humans.
to talk about yourself in such an intimate way?
It is weird. I would like that, and I'm open to that. I just don't know exactly what I really want from that. I don't know. I think I've had such a unique experience and continue to. It's really hard to navigate that. Just being so sexy with my breasts out all the time. People never look me in the eyes. It's like my eyes are up here, Yeah.
Do you think some people might be intimidated by you too?
Well,
I sure
do you think so?
I would say so.
Is it me?
I mean, I went to your book signing and it was such an intimate venue.
You did, by the way. Can I say thank you for coming to that?
Wait a minute, though.
That really
Sweet,
meant
thank
so
you.
much.
Wait a minute, though.
Sweet.
That was at the end of a very long day at the Abbey.
And you looked so good. You looked so
have told.
suave.
Girl, I was like, what's going on
He
here?
came in. He had a suit
Why she got her
jacket
sunglasses on inside?
Yeah, like,
He had a suit jacket on. He was hot.
but I have to say, even in that intimate space, you were still like the star, and I was intimidated, even though you were right there. I was like afraid to talk to you, and so I wonder if some of boys that might be interested might be intimidated by the career, by the persona. And when you're in that drag, for your fans that haven't met you in person, I mean, there's an energy there. Well,
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the star power is insane. But again, it's all genuine and intent. But yeah, you come up to her, she's like, so cool. Like,
Yeah.
That's
Well,
why he
who
only took a
knows?
picture with me and Mars. He's like, I'm too scared. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
well, I owe you a picture.
Oh, well, we're going to get some tonight, girl. But speaking about your intimate life and parts of your life, you came out with a book of poetry.
I did.
42 poems?
Yes, sure.
Yes.
That.
She's a poet. That picture was taken at the book signing.
Yes, it was.
So tell us about this
42
book
poems.
and why poetry and what are readers going to get from this book?
Well, I guess this book is a really good way to answer a lot of the questions that you've asked tonight in my own way.
Yeah.
Reading between the lines kind of things. A lot of it addressing my personal life, a lot of it addressing my professional life. And my goal with this whole thing, whatever this has happened to me, is to connect with people. And that's what's continued to keep me going. So this is a way to do that. And I think it's a unique way to do it. We've had a couple girls publish books, a rare few.
With a co-writer.
I just did a podcast recently with Katya, who was explaining that she hated the process and she'll never do it again. So luckily, I had a different experience with this. I loved every single bit of it. This is my whole heart and soul, along with some photos that have never been seen. Yeah. So yeah, it's an intimate peek at me, which is kind of fun because it's normally like, making out with Katy Perry in a club somewhere. It's like a different thing.
And then you go home by yourself.
And then I go home, not by myself, with my friends.
Okay.
Which has been, the Greeks say there's 5 kinds of love. And I can't name them for you now. I wish I could. But there is 5 kinds.
You did teach me this.
According to the Greeks, there's 5 kinds of love,
Food,
right?
Food, porn.
Oh, no. It's carbs and dairy.
Yeah.
Vodka, tequila.
Tequila.
Oh, I forgot the alcohol. Yeah.
And then vodka and tequila again.
Yes. And then porn.
Yeah, then porn. Yeah, lots of porn.
So it always ends with porn.
But no, there's, love for the family, love for the friends, love for the sex, love for the romance, whatever, So I feel like you have to curate all these different kinds of love in your life. So yes, like maybe I'm not going home with a husband currently, but I'm normally going home with an incredible core group of humans who like lift me and support me like more than I could ever need or want and like just deserve, So this is this community that, we create, not only do we plug into, we create it, we plug it into, we plug other people into other people. And it's just this amazing web that lights up around you. And Sure, there's going to be a husband that gets caught in the web eventually, but the web is what I'm focusing on right now, and he's welcome to fly by whenever he wants to.
Can you read a passage from your book?
Sure.
She's a poet.
Sure. So I picked one out particularly for you. This is the last book.
Is it about Panda Express? Because that's my life.
It's not about Panda Express.
Not the orange chicken.
But this first passage. Can I read a couple of them for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So this first passage goes out to you, Alex. It's called Bourbon. I don't drink to escape my reality. I drink because I appreciate bourbon. That doesn't explain all the vodka.
That was written just for me.
Honestly.
That's my life.
No, it was read for you right now.
No, I think psychically.
You think that was, you relate to it that heavily? Wow.
If you go to my house, in my refrigerator, there's no bread, there's no eggs, there's nothing. There's shoes because I have so many shoes, I can't fit them all in the closet.
Shoes in the refrigerator?
And a bottle of vodka and a bottle of bourbon.
Oh my God.
That is so weird. All right,
oh my God.
Read another. Do another.
Okay, so
I love that though.
Do you watch Drag Race?
Yes.
Okay, so this is about my Drag Race journey. Okay, this is one of the lessons I learned, actually. This answers one of your questions. This is what I mean by, like, this book really answers most of the questions that you've asked me in my own way.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the lesson I learned from Drag Race. It's called Last Dance. And this is a haiku, so it's 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. On TV, you must lip sync for both of your lives, controversially.
575.
575. So this is, of course, referring to my Last Dance lip sync with the iconic, the winner of Drag Race, Raja O'Hara. We set the internet on fire with this like ridiculously controversial lip sync that we did. And it boosted both of us to, you know, really launch both of our careers, honestly. And I think that's the goal with all the girls on Drag Race, like lip sync for your life controversially.
Yeah.
If you're put in the position to like fight for your life.
And step outside the box.
Do something different, do something unique. Just make people should have an opinion.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of the times, a lot of the problem with Drag Race these days is that it's this golden, they hand these girls these golden opportunities and they're just fumbled because they don't understand the stakes.
Or they think because they can hire a stylist who made a $2,000 gown that makes them a drag queen. No. You need to be able to entertain people. You need to be able to put art together in so many different genres like you have. This poetry is amazing. You know, it's just another facet of Scarlet that is top notch. And talking about that, let's talk about your EP that you also dropped this year. Like, do you sleep?
No, I don't.
Oh my God.
Sure doesn't.
I don't.
Jeez.
Although I do love to sleep. I think I'm a horizontal queen. Can we shout out to the horizontal queens listening?
That's his grinder name, by the way.
I hope.
If you want to find her on Adam for Adam.
Adam for Adam. What year are you in,
Adam
sir?
for Adam.
Jesus.
I'm talking about AIM.
The first
Horizontal
threesome I ever
queen.
had was on Adam for Adam.
Oh my God, Adam for Adam and Craigslist. Like, that's the same age, girl.
You know, I'm not aging myself. AIM is out now to this day.
So I have to tell you, when I get a press release that Drag Race Queen has put out a song, part of me groans because I know it's going to be auto-tune, it's going to be spoken patter, and it's going to be pretty bad. It's not going to have a melody. It's not going to have anything that I like. Rain in Hollywood shifted back because it was amazing. But everything that the music that you have put out is amazing. What do you think sets your music apart from all the other queens' music? Because there's a lot of noise out there with a lot of content because it's so easy to produce content. And I use content. It's not all great.
I'm going to answer this quickly and then pass it to BLEACHx, who is really in charge here.
Okay.
But I'm going to say that I write what I mean and I mean what I write. And what we pull the songs from, or the core of the song is the lyric, comes from my writing. It comes from this book. And I think that that is a good starting off point to then bring it to people who know exactly what they're doing. I have never been better than the team I'm working with, whether it be a runway on Drag Race or whatever. It's so important to put people in place who know exactly what they're doing and know how to do it the best. So this is someone, Jeremy, who knows exactly what he's doing in a pop music world.
And I think that's an important lesson. We have a lot of entertainers that watch the show, and I think it's an important lesson. It's like, we know Scarlet is the brand. We know that you are the talent, but it's also so smart to know that you need a team and you have respect for a team because they do what you can't do or you don't have time to do.
Well, anyone who's being honest with you is going to give the credit where the credit's due to their team.
But a lot of people in entertainment don't do that.
Well, hopefully that'll change.
But also, when we first had the conversation about doing music together, I said I will absolutely not do the but da-da-da, but da-da-da.
Yeah.
But I will give you fucking records. And if you are up for that, and I heard her voice She played me a couple songs from stuff she did, and I go, that was produced wrong, and I could produce you so different. And she came in with such an open mind and like just allowed me and Willie Beeman, producer.
Shout out to Willie.
Shout out to Willie.
Wilhelmina Models.
Wilhelmina's Gomez. We have so many good nicknames for him. And she was so open to like just being like part of the process. And she brought all these poems and these huge things. And I go, okay, let's take that. And this is how do we make it a meaning? And I go, now what are you going to do? And when I vocal produced her voice is like, what you hear is what you hear. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you go in and you nip and tuck things, and that's Adele even does that. That's just what it is.
Of course.
And she sang, she performed, she like coming to a song is so much different. Like Selena Gomez, I love so much. Maybe not Adele, but she knows how to perform and deliver. This girl has such a range, and she came in and she wrote everything with me and was such a part of the process. And I thought it was so cool because I work with a lot of people who just go, give me a few words and then I write
Make
the song
me famous. Yeah.
And da-da-da-da-da.
And you do that
totally
too.
fine.
He is very good at doing that.
Yeah. But it was a really cool process, and to see her do that. And you're right, the music, well, if I do say so ourselves, is great. But she really put a lot of hard work into it and was just so open to the process, which is rare.
It's giving me Madonna. It's giving me synth pop. It's giving me melody that's like an earworm, which is a good thing, you know? Eminem said when he did Slim Shady, he's like, when I got nauseated listening to it the third time, then I knew it was going to be a hit because it stays in your mind, right?
Yeah.
But there's a craft to that.
Yeah.
Most of the content that's being put out there, I couldn't hum you one melody after listening to it 4 times.
Yeah, sure.
So let's take a little peek at Rain in Hollywood. Just a little sneak peek. We're not going to give you all thing. So I have to tell you, like, you play the song when you're cleaning the house. You play the song when you're getting ready to go out. You play the song when you're hooking up. You play the song whenever. It's that hook that's like, oh, it just stays with you. And it's a bop, girl.
Yeah, thank you so much. I am just, I've only been here for about 2 years. And
what made you move to Los Angeles? I got this question.
Work and career. I was here more often than I was in New York for a couple of years. And I just kind of gathered the courage to transport my life here.
It must be like bittersweet, though.
It is. But, I'm lucky to go to New York as often as I can. So I still get to go out there all the time. We were just there for the cabaret show a couple weeks ago. So here we are, bitch. We are here in the palm trees.
And you were able to sing some of your pop music in your last cabaret, which is called Bad Advice, by the way.
Bad Advice, yes, was a cabaret cover, basically, of the album. And some of my other songs as well, Feelings Mutual, and some really amazing songs that I have in my past. We got to just basically put them to just me and a piano. Shout out to Blake Allen, who's an incredible musician and musical director in New York, who did the cabaret show. So it was fun to see the pop music and a jazz. It was very cool. It was very well received. And there's something about New York audiences. They don't lie to you. If the show is not good, they will let you know. This is why Joan Rivers, for instance, used to work her material out there for these audiences. And it was very well received. We were very excited. And we're going to work on bringing that to, future dates and things.
In Bad Advice, it also gives your fans an opportunity to get to know you on a different level as well. Because you do tell stories from your life.
Yeah, it's comedy.
Yeah.
It's mostly stand up, to be honest, and bad advice that I've received through the years and things that you shouldn't do, which is just fun to hear.
Well, speaking of bad advice, so some people sent us their advice questions. I'm like, oh, okay. My partner wants to have a threesome. We've never had one. Should I do it? Any advice?
Ooh, this is fun. Ooh, this is exciting.
Oh my God, we need Bad Advice podcast.
Oh yeah.
Because you're not busy enough.
Honestly, I would totally do that. I think I love sitting.
Fit it in.
It could be like a 10-minute podcast where you just just shoot the advice questions and that's it. You don't do any preamble. You're just like, here's what you're gonna do. Blah blah blah. Goodbye.
I wish I could say I'm not great at giving bad advice, but I think I'm actually really good at it.
All right. So what advice do you have for this threesome potential?
So what's the question again? Can you use it in a sentence?
That was fresh.
My partner wants to have a threesome. We've never had one. Should I do it? Any advice?
Oh, yes, do it. Absolutely. Well, okay, so here's the thing. My partner wants to have a threesome. I don't want to have a threesome. That's not what they said.
And my partner never had one.
Threesome.
So in my mind, when a couple gets to that point, it means they're not being satisfied in the bedroom anymore. Something's missing.
That means you are either going to fuck somebody else with your partner, or your partner's gonna fuck somebody else without you.
So do you want the bad advice or the good advice?
Well, bad advice would be just ignore the problem and everything will be fine. Don't worry about it. Don't change anything.
So don't have the threesome.
Well, the bad advice would be don't have the threesome, yeah. But the good advice would be just have the threesome.
But what if the other guy realizes, oh, that was so hot that I only want other people now?
That's why it's bad advice.
Agreed.
There's a podcast here for you. Bad advice. It just got
you're hired.
Bad advice. What am I doing? Back and just clap? Like with I'm the cool mom with the camera.
Yeah. Ooh, my partner wants to have a threesome. We've never had one before. Should I have it? The bad advice would be no, don't change anything. Your partner will be fine with you for the rest of your life.
Let him cheat.
Let him cheat. Yeah. That'll be my bad advice. Ooh, I hope it works out. Also, call me.
That's really funny, by the way. Okay, we have to talk about Witch Perfect. You're hitting the road with Tina Burner and Alexis Michelle. Both of them have done the show, by the way.
Yes.
I have to know, what is life like touring with these other two queens? Because the three of you couldn't be more different, but you have the same energy, if that makes sense.
I think that's why the show works, because we are so different. And you know what? I have gone very far back with Tina and Alexis as a New York City girl.
Yep.
So we've known each other for a long, long time. And I was thrilled. This will be our, I think, 4th year doing this tour. And it's been bigger and bigger every year. Last year, we went international with it. Luckily, this year, we're only keeping it to the U.S. It makes it easier on us.
How many cities are you doing?
36.
Plus?
Yeah, 36 cities.
36.
And I think that's probably still growing. And by the way, a lot of those cities are multiple shows.
Yeah.
So it's like we'll do back-to-back shows in certain cities. So it's not just 30, it's 36 cities, but I don't know. It's a blessing. It's fabulous. I love these girls. I also, first of all, love Hocus Pocus. I'm a huge fan.
Even in the sequel?
I love Hocus Pocus. I'm a huge fan.
You know they're doing Hocus Pocus 3?
Honestly.
And Bette Midler was like, can we hurry it up? Because I'm not looking too good.
Oh my God.
She said it. No, she said it, not me. She said
it. Bette Midler, I've had to decline her invitation once to her Halloween party.
Get out!
I haven't heard this.
Get out!
What? Yeah, I think I want to
I
say that too.
We were on tour, and she had offered me to come host.
I don't know if I can even look at you right now.
I'm sorry about this.
The red carpet, host the red carpet for her Halloween tour. So I gave the gig to Thorgy Thor. Thorgy Thor, let me explain. Thorgy Thor was she's a drag queen.
No,
she's she was on Drag Race.
Okay. How do you say
Look
no to
up
Bette Midler, by the way? Like, she's the wind beneath your wings, bitch.
I have to say no to a lot of things I don't have to say no to, which is a lesson I'm learning, I guess. But yeah, like, sorry, Bet.
Okay, so just weird connection. So I do cabaret as well. My last cabaret was at Oscars in Palm Springs, and it was called Unsung Midler, where I sang all of her songs that are not hits.
Oh, that's fantastic. The B-sides.
Broadway World nomination, bitch. But that's...
Well, no, I do. I love her. And it's... I mean, hopefully she'll ask again, but I think she probably won't.
Count on it.
She probably won't.
Bitch.
That's a once in a lifetime.
I shall never.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we all love Bette Midler, and it's literally because of her that we get to do this. So
100%. Hello, she started her career at the bathhouses in New York.
Madness.
With Barry Manilow.
Shout out to Amber Martin, please. I don't know if Amber Martin's listening, but Amber Martin is a fantastic cabaret singer based in New York City and also in New Orleans. And I was on Fire Island. and I can name a couple celebrities that were there, but I'm not going to do it. I'll tell you after the show.
Yeah.
But we were all in bath towels. Like it was in the bathhouse, and Amber Martin was singing, and then like the show would happen, and then like everyone would like have sex in the pool, and it was this whole thing.
While show tunes are happening?
Yeah, it was Fire Island, you know. I don't know. But anyway, in the bathhouse. Yeah, it was like all themed, you know.
Okay, but back to Witch Perfect. Even if you guys are like the best of friends, those are huge personalities. Having to travel. We know travel weighs on you because we know travel doesn't always go the best. You're tired sometimes you're hungover. Are there shenanigans that happen?
Are there shenanigans that happen?
Yeah.
Of course there's shenanigans that happen.
Story, please.
Oh my God. Okay, so what are the stories I could tell?
Like, what's one of the craziest? You're like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened to the three.
I don't think I can say it on air.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Oh my God.
This is a good promo for Witch Perfect. Like,
I don't think
if you know Witch Perfect is coming to your city and you hear this next story, you're gonna go.
Well, so let's see. I don't think I can say these things on air. Okay. There was a man.
There was a man.
What? Why do you call this On the Rocks? I don't understand why you call this On the Rocks.
Can I tell you how much juicy stuff we get?
Glasses. Okay. Honestly, I think Alexis would appreciate this story being told. So we were on the road and we're on the bus or whatever. We go between planes, buses, whatever. And we're at this random truck stop.
I heard you guys got trains.
And trains. Yeah. Well, that was in the UK. I don't think we're going to do any trains in the US this year. So anyway, we're at a truck stop in the middle of nowhere. I believe this is in the States. And this guy, I was waiting for Alexis in the bathroom of this truck stop. And so whatever.
Why were you waiting for Alexis in the bathroom?
I was waiting for Alexis outside of the bathroom next to the nuts, you know, while she was...
That did not make the story better, by the way. Nuts.
So we're at a truck stop and Alexis is servicing this gentleman in the truck stop.
You're right. She would appreciate this story.
Oh, I know for a fact she would appreciate this story. Alexis, I love you so much.
We're gay men.
Sister.
We have sex.
I love you so much, sister. So out he comes.
Was he hot?
He was hot. Of course he was. Alexis has good taste. So out she comes, gets her lipstick together, gets her lip gloss
She was
together.
in drag?
No, but, you know, whatever. Gets her chapstick together. I gave her some moisturizer. I said, here, to put some hand sanitizer on, girl.
So you just waited outside when this was happening?
Well, I don't know. Tina, you know, other than that, I have to hang out with Tina Burner.
I don't even know what she was doing.
No, so here I come. I walk in, Alexis out, and she goes, yeah, there he is. He gets in this huge truck, like this big,
That's sexy. We've all had
huge truck, you know, whatever, yeah. Not a trucker, but like a Ford F-150, something like that. Some big truck. And so whatever, that's it. You know, this happens. This is not a rare occurrence.
That's the story?
No. Okay. So we get to the show. We're driving maybe 2 hours down.
This was before the show.
This is before. We're driving from city to city. So we get to the thing. About 2 hours later, do the sound check, whatever, get in drag, do the meet and greet before the show.
Did she brush her teeth?
And this man was in the meet and greet line.
Stop it!
So he happened to run into y'all?
I don't think it was happenstance.
I don't know. I still, to this day, you will have to just like circle Ms. Michelle back to the podcast to ask about this, I guess. But like literally, and I kid you not, it was the same man. And Alexis and I looked at each other like flabbergasted, like seeing him 2 people away in line. Like, is that the guy? Is that the guy from? That's the guy. She was like, that's the fucking guy.
He must have been really good.
So
shout out to Alexis.
Anyway, that's like one of my favorite tour stories with him because it's just, we were hours away from where we were. Like these were not in the same.
That's some good
vicinity.
So there's my Witch Perfect. Come see us. Come see us on Witch Perfect.
Now, what is Witch Perfect? You're not singing songs from Hocus Pocus, or like, is it a cabaret?
No, we're not singing
storytelling?
songs. We're not singing songs from Witch Perfect.
Is it Alexis just giving blowjobs to the audience? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, it's just for the VIP tickets, actually.
That's actually really funny.
Like, now I'm kind of thinking, yeah, maybe he got
just for the meet and greet.
He got the invite.
And I don't know if it was necessarily a blowjob he got. I don't know what he got in there, but it was enough for him to drive 2 hours and follow her.
1,000%. Yeah.
I don't know what he got. We'll have to ask her.
I wouldn't drive 2 hours for a blowjob. I would drive 2 hours for sex, but not for a blowjob.
I hope she's happy I told that story. There's no taking it back.
I can't wait to clip this and tag the shit out of her.
Oh, God. But yes, no blowjobs at the show, but lots of blowjob jokes.
Okay, so from Witch Perfect, by the way. And we can get tickets at witchperfect.com, right?
Witchperfect.com?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So we got these questions.
And by the way, the book is available at scarletenvyshop.com.
Yes.
scarletenvyshop.com.
And it's only 1 T, by the way.
1 T.
Okay. We got these questions. Just real, like, rapid fire.
Okay.
Who's the biggest, and we're talking about Witch Perfect. Who's the biggest diva?
Tina Burner.
Who's the one that's going to be late all the time?
Really? No, yeah, me. Probably me.
Who's the one most apt to get tipsy?
Tina.
Oh, well, we answered this one. Who's the one that's most apt to get to hook up?
Oh, definitely Alexis, for sure. Should I say Mary? I should say Mary and Winifred instead.
Yes.
So I have to know, with you having so many different talents, poetry, singing, performing with other queens, performing on your own.
Dick.
Well, you weren't part of that story, so.
Oh, well, it is one of my talents.
As we know, because some of the details kept changing. So let's just...
What if it wasn't Alexis? What if it was...
Oh, it was definitely Alexis, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not a truck stop diva necessarily, but don't put it past me.
I mean, hot's hot.
I mean,
we have our fantasies.
I'm doing some of the tour with them. I can't wait to see these shenanigans live.
Yeah, he's going to
You don't get involved in shenanigans, though.
Oh, but he does.
Oh, do you really?
Oh, he has involved in too many shenanigans.
No.
With all these different directions that you can go in with your talents, how do you know what to focus on next?
I don't. I'm going to go with the flow kind of girl, what I'm inspired by. I don't necessarily think about what's next. I think about what's to do now. There's always like a million things that have yet to be done right now.
But let's look at this year. New cabaret show, new book, new EP, UK versus the world, like that premiered this year. Like, look at that year. That's a lot.
Yeah, it is. And I'm grateful for it. And I wouldn't be able to do it without the fan support. People want continued content from me. I'm going to take that and I'm going to run with that. And I'm not going to stop running.
What kind of legacy do you want to build with your career? For that queer boy in Louisville who, you know, if we were to go back in time and he was looking at you and your career, what kind of legacy do you want to leave?
Well, I think I've left the legacy for him that I needed to leave already. I've made that a reality already. We've watched that happen. What I want to continue to do is to build on that. I don't think that we're necessarily building. I guess we're constantly building, but I think that the foundation has been there. I've had this crazy, very public, like coming of age story weirdly for the past 7 years that I think he would be proud of. Back in the day, I just want to continue to build on that and show him that, you know, it doesn't stop necessarily. For a long time, my goal was to get on Drag Race, and I didn't know what I wanted to do after that.
And you had to work and work at it. Like,
I had to work and work at it, and then it's you know, and Rue has been quoted saying a lot of the times when our dreams come true, we don't really know what to do with it. You know, when you get everything you've asked for in a way, then what?
Yeah.
And I'm lucky to have crossed that precipice of this. Now what?
And for all those queer young boys in the Midwest living in places where you don't see yourself represented, listen to this story. Your dad has your 8x10s ready to give out. He sent you to conversion therapy. I mean, Christmas must be good at your house where they're like, sorry, son, here's a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it is. Christmas is really good at my house, actually.
But it talks about like the power of change and the power of just like, we know right now, politically and socially, we're going through a lot. You just stick with it. And like you said, you just be your authentic self and be sincere. And that's enough.
Well, I was just nervous. Like, if you're going to be somebody else on TV, everyone's going to expect that from you.
I have my own opinions about this last season, but...
Ooh,
yeah,
the drama. Would you say you're the drama?
I like to facilitate the drama and then watch.
So then, yes.
I'm the pot stirrer.
So the answer.
I was just going to say that.
And then I'm out. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe she did that when I pushed her to it and gave her more vodka.
That sounds like a hard yes for me.
Yeah, you have the biggest witch spoon in the cauldron.
Yeah, maybe the villain.
I've heard I do have a big witch spoon. Anyway. Scarlet, lastly, what is your message to your fans?
My message to my fans, I'm just going to circle back to move forward, just, you know, push on. I also want to say thank you. So I think would be my first and foremost message to my fans is thank you. That this wouldn't happen without them. And I could be pushing things out into the universe all day long, but if no one cares to see it or experience it, you know, where does that leave me? So I owe everything to my fans and to the people who continue to ask for content from me and read this book and listen to this music and come to this tour and tune in with us tonight. It's magical what I've been given, and I don't take a single bit of it for granted.
This is so amazing.
Love it.
Yeah. And if you're at truck stop 61, go. No.
Yeah.
On Highway
And also,
54.
yeah, second stall to the left.
Yeah. 3 knocks.
That shit's funny, right?
That was fresh.
3 knocks if you're horny. Scarlet, where can people find and follow you? Where can we buy the book? Where can we stream Rain in Hollywood?
Well, you can stream Rain in Hollywood on all major streaming platforms.
Everywhere. And I'm telling you, just download it and just play it. It perks up your mood instantly, and it fits so many different.
Oh, it's a banger.
Yeah,
she is a dance track. She is a classic, good pop music, and I'm obsessed with it. So thank you for streaming. Also, Rain in Hollywood is coming from this book right here. There's a poem actually called Rain in Hollywood in the book. So if you want the real tea, get the book. She's a poet. Available on mostly, I would like people to go through scarletenvyshop.com to get the book, but you can also get it at indolentbooks.com. It will soon be on Amazon. Audible is soon coming as well for an audiobook version.
Where are you guys recording it?
We already did it.
Yeah, it's already recorded. It's already ready to go. The Audible people are just,
She doesn't sleep.
Yeah, so and the Audible book is really fun, actually, really quickly, because it's I get to talk after each reading. I'm narrating it myself, and I get to kind of explain.
You're putting more into the story.
Yeah, what is this about?
Yeah.
What was I going through? Where was it written? When was it written? Who is it about? These kinds of things.
I have to tell you, your speaking voice is like velvet. It's like ASMR. Yeah.
Really?
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you order that way at like Del Taco and you're like, I would like the
I want
cheese fries, please.
18 tacos, please.
Girl.
And not the mini ones. I want like the regular kind of big
She's clicking her
supreme
nails
ones.
on the microphone through the window.
Yes. She's like,
Yeah. I just want a crunchy taco.
okay. I'm hard. I don't know about anybody else.
You can find me on @Scarlet Envy literally everywhere except for Twitter, X, whatever the fuck you want to call that. Scarlet Envy NYC.
1T.
Yeah, Scarlet Envy 1T, and Scarlet too much tea is not good for anybody, girl.
That's your quote. We love it. BLEACHx, where can we find and follow you?
BLEACHx Music on Instagram and X, Twitter, whatever the fuck it is. But yeah, cheers to that.
And
Thanks
also
for having us on.
Craigslist.
Craigslist, I'm there. M for M X. So
and
it's
apparently
just
Adam
one
for
post.
Adam.
It's me.
Is that still around?
Adam for
even?
Adam. I think it's definitely around. I'm gonna
Is
get
it?
on. I'm
It
gonna log on to
cannot
Adam
be.
for Adam right now.
Can you imagine my profile? It's like, just graduated college. I don't know what's ahead for me.
I'm ready to take a bite of the apple.
Also, look for Scarlett's new podcast called Bad Advice.
Yeah.
You better trademark that like tonight, though. That's
I
not
really
even a
do
joke.
think so.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna buy to take it out from under you.
It's RuPaul. He's like, I bought it.
Also, can I shout out really quick, just because it happened today, to the Beetlejuice movie? For
That was Harmony.
Yeah, not the Beetlejuice using Am I the Drama.
They're releasing too many scenes ahead of time, and that makes me nervous.
Really?
And then the scenes that I saw, like her at school with the bullies and all that, it's like we've seen that. Like,
I don't know. It's still iconic. Literally,
Of course it
Beetlejuice
is.
Michael Keaton.
asking
You
if
have
there's
no
a drama.
idea.
Come on.
Like,
I was a little gay nerd watching Beetlejuice cartoon,
same.
which
I'm a
didn't match.
sandworm.
Like Lydia and Beetlejuice were best friends. It's like, no, that didn't happen. But
I'm obsessed already. I can't wait to see the movie. And I would love,
Have to see it.
Some popcorn right now, actually.
well, and Justin Theroux is in it too, by the way.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
really?
He plays Lydia's
I haven't
husband.
seen him in forever.
And Lydia's mom, which we know Catherine O'Hara, hates.
Told you
her
she was
husband.
coming back. Told you she was coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Here's the funny thing. Okay, I just have to. Sorry, Tony. I know you have to go home to your husband real fast. Oh, we have to dish. So the actor that played the father, we know he was arrested on like child porn shit.
Oh, God.
So he couldn't be in the new version. So the movie starts with his funeral.
Oh, my God, really?
Yeah, 100%.
It's so, it's
Well, then
giving.
I wanted to know if like Alec Baldwin and
No, they're not in it.
yeah,
They don't even
we
make
know
an
that
appearance.
story. So
Wow. Ooh, the drama of it all.
The drama. Are you the drama?
Well, apparently Beetlejuice is the villain.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
But good for them. Anyway, that's all, folks. It's always a grab bag of fun here and On the Rocks. A big thank you to our engineer and station owner, Tony Sweet. Taylor Armstrong from Real Housewives of Orange County and Beverly Hills is coming on. We have Dexter Carr, who's Megan Thee Stallion's favorite dancer, by the way.
Sure.
And then for Halloween, we have a celebrity exorcist. She has done every A-list celebrity's exorcism, and they've given her like quotes. So like,
What?
It's for real.
what?
I've met her. It's unbelievable what she does. I don't believe in the afterlife or anything, but I believe in this. Anyway, she's coming on and she makes cocktails.
I want to be here for that.
Oh, yeah.
I want to be
Come
exercised.
watch. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. Anyway, please like, share, subscribe so we can continue bringing this fabulous programming coming your way. I'm speaking in cursive already. Until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, stay sexy, and if you drink, stay tipsy.
This has been another episode of On the Rocks. Tweet me and slide into my DMs on Twitter and Instagram at On the Rocks On Air. Find everything On the Rocks for free at ontherocksradioshow.com. Subscribe, like, review, and share. Until next week, stay fabulous.